Coming up on relatables. Sometimes if I'm feeling like big emotions, sadness, frustration, blah, 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 the thing that I'm thinking in my head that I want to say is not the right thing to say because I'm not thinking straight.
When you articulate with your mouth, when you're in like these states of frustration or sad, it's really hard to get out what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And like, because emotion takes over and you say something you don't really mean.
Yeah.
But the easiest way to like actually do it is write it down.
Oh,
how
shit.
How you feeling?
Jake and Artie, the Relatables Party.
The Relatables podcast is hosted by myself, Oddie Clark, aka
Mummy.
and my partner in crime. We found out, Patrick to my SpongeBob, Jake Craig, aka Daddy.
I have been living up to that lately.
Yeah.
I actually have.
For those who don't know, Jake is back from Canada.
Yes.
And he's,
Jet lagged.
that's what he's calling it, but I say his true colours are shining through a little bit.
I'm saying jet lagged. I had a couple of days of struggle with just like, I didn't even feel that tired. I just had a couple of days of struggle with, I would say, just being an idiot. Main one was, it was my stepmom's birthday on Saturday night, 2 days after I got home. My dad invites us, obviously, Beth and I, and I'm like, yeah, we can go. And then I text him and I say, oh, what time's dinner again? And he texts me 6 p.m. and he says the place.
Yeah.
I thought it said a place called Edelong Diggers, which is like not nice. Not to shit on it. Not to shit on it. Not to shit on it. But and I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, weird. We get there at 6, sign in, and like Beth forgets her ID and she says this whole debacle of signing into this place because that's how you have to do it here. And we get in and I'm looking for him and she goes, can you see him? And I'm like, nah, I can't see him. And she goes, oh, check the text. Maybe he said 6:30. And I look at it and I was like, fuck. He wrote Empire Bay Tavern.
So it's a completely different restaurant.
It was like 10 minutes away. And I had to call him and I was like, we came here. I couldn't. It was like,
I tell you what's worse, man.
Oh.
So his stepmom's a twin. So they're going for his birthday and he goes to his stepmom, happy birthday, and her twin's there. And he doesn't say happy birthday. Just says, hey, how you going?
oh, firstly, so I get into this restaurant in all a bit of and I'm in shambles because I went to the wrong place to start off with. And I get in, I go see my mum, my stepmom. I'm like, happy birthday, happy birthday. And I didn't even say hi to anyone else. I just like kind of walked away. I was like, okay, it's over and done with. And then I was like, oh shit. And I went and said hi to her sister. I was like, sorry, I forgot to say hi to you.
Jake's got a big family too. There would have been a few people there.
I was like, I went and had to say hi to like 4 more people. And then halfway through dinner is when I went over to Beth and I was like, oh, it's Fiona's birthday as well.
Yeah, man.
And we were like, fuck.
So if Jake says something a bit dumb today, we'll give him a little bit of an excuse.
Yeah, I need benefit of the doubt here.
We'll give him a little bit of an excuse.
I'm a few days in, but I'm sleeping good. I've been sleeping great. But I've had a dog in the bed because Henry fucking sleeps in the bed now. Because Beth has just been letting him sleep in the bed. And while I was away, I was like, can he even sleep in the crate anymore? Is he just going to cry? And she was like, no, he can. And then when we got here, I caved and I was like, yeah, you can just sleep in the bed. I don't care.
Parenting, mate.
Parenting.
Oh, but today, Jake, I want to start something off. I wanted to know, this happens to me all the time. I want to know if this is relatable. And I want to know when I lose my spatial awareness.
Oh.
So you've had to have experienced this. Everyone listening, most of our demographics, like 20.
Yeah.
So you go to the shops. Shops is the main place it happens. Might be anywhere though.
Yeah.
And you're going through the aisles and there's someone there with a big trolley and they're standing right in front of you.
Yeah.
And you're just waiting there. And they just take I reckon it has to be a couple of minutes. And how do they not know that you're there?
Do you mean at what age are you going to lose your spatial awareness?
Yeah, like I swear I can see other people's spatial awareness of them not knowing that someone's right behind them and I see it. And then I'm like, I've been standing here for a solid 45 seconds, dude. Like, just move.
That is one of my biggest pet peeves and it always happens to me for some reason, like I rarely buy spices.
Yeah.
Never buy spices.
Oldies are in spices, mate.
And so whenever I do just go buy some onion powder or something, I don't know, because I'm too lazy to cut up onions, I go over and I'm looking for it and there is always, someone never 20. No. They're never 20 years old.
Everyone our age has spatial awareness. Like if I'm like looking for someone, I'm looking at the calories and someone walks behind me, I see they're there. And I'm like, oh, here you go, get in while I'm looking at this. These people just put their trolley there, they stand there and just hog the whole thing up and you can't just reach over because the whole trolley's there.
There's something about, okay, I don't want to just give shit to old people, but there is something about them. There's some sort of entitlement when you get to an age of...
I was thinking, do they just not care?
Is it growing up as a boomer?
Maybe.
Because I feel like they grew up in this day and age where they just were so like boomers. Apparently, there's this whole thing in boomers where like bigger is better and all that. So they almost have this entitlement where they want to be the best, and so that must just mean like I'm not being nice. I'm not being fucking nice. Because even if you think about it, like when I worked at a restaurant,
I don't reckon it has anything to do with being nice. I reckon they just don't know you're there.
Oh, really?
I reckon they have no idea you're there.
I have a feel. I've always thought it's like, oh, they'll like.
Sure,
they don't care, and in their head, it's like I got here first. They have to wait their turn.
Oh,
that's how I've always thought. I've always like, you're just so fucking rude.
Maybe I really like old people, not shitting on them, but I've always just thought like at like age like 35, I'm just going to lose some sense in the back of my head, and I'm like, people around me, I don't know they exist anymore.
Sometimes they will be like, oh, sorry, and then they'll move,
But sometimes it's even like a dad who's like 40. And you're just there and he's like looking at the...
I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, funniest thing happened the other day. I don't know what he was buying. He was in the... I was looking in the soap aisle, and that's like the feminine aisle.
Yeah.
With all the girl products. And there's this guy on the phone, and our Coles has terrible reception. He's like yelling into it, trying to find this female product. And he's like, had to be 50. He's like, I don't know what I'm looking for. And he was like, he was in like the tampon aisle in like that one. And it was just so funny.
He's like, what size are you? Yeah. Extra large?
And I was like, this is out of a movie. Yeah,
how old were you when you found out there was sizes for tampons?
I remember I think it was like year 12.
Yeah. I feel like I found out later than I should have.
Oh, maybe it was on TikTok time. Maybe it was later. Yeah. There was a trend on TikTok that went about it, wasn't it?
Weird. And also, I found out from an Adam Sandler movie.
Really?
So there's this Adam Sandler movie. I don't know which one it is, but he's a single dad. I don't know. And he's always just like, Adam Sandler's always a single dad or something in a movie, and he just gets hot chicks.
Yeah.
Because he writes all his own movies. And his daughter in the
I would
movie.
do that too, to be fair.
He's worth like $500 million. It's like, yeah, it worked. But so he's in this movie and he's a single dad, and his daughter gets her period. So he goes to like a chemist and he's looking at them, and they have these wild names. And then the love interest shows up and helps him out, and he's got this extra large, and he's like, oh, I didn't know there was sizes.
Oh, I remember the scene now.
And so I'm thinking like, oh, neither did I.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
We live in different worlds, hey.
We fully do.
Yeah.
Another thing, I don't want to call out, and like talking about guys and differences between guys and girls. I don't want to call out my girlfriend, but this morning, I find, at least for my relationship, my girlfriend overthinks more than I do. I think I don't have enough power to overthink. So I was
just about, I don't think you have the brain capacity to overthink.
I literally don't. It doesn't fit into my resume.
Does she give me a run for my money?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. She falls asleep quick, though. She's not like you. But, so I think this morning I asked her if she was okay. Because I was like, I don't know. I sensed something was a little off. And I was like, I'll just ask her. And so she said, yeah. And I was like, you can? She goes, oh, I just feel like she said, I feel like I'm annoying you today. And I was like, oh, no, don't worry about that.
Today? It's like 10 o'clock.
Yeah. This morning, I don't know. Maybe I was giving off vibes.
Yeah.
So she was like, I feel like I'm annoying you today. And I was like, no, don't be silly. And then I said to her, she goes, oh, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I was like, okay, think about this. Because then she said, I don't want you to get sick of me. Or she's like, I feel like sick of me. I don't know. And so then I said, well, think about this. Like, would you ever get sick of me? And she's like, no. And I was like, so why would I love you as much as you love me. Yeah. Just so whenever you think that I'm getting sick of you, just think like, oh, wait, but am I getting sick of Jake?
You brought logic into the equation,
I had to bring logic into the equation to settle it down. She wasn't worked up or anything. Like, she was fine, but I was like, it's like, please don't stress. But I think that, yeah, girls definitely overthink.
I feel like, we'll leave it on this. I feel like guys waking up in the morning, especially me, and I think you have it too when we used to live together, like, will come across as like angry or frustrated, or she took it as off her.
Yeah.
But we're just like mute and just like, it's just like the morning. I don't really want to talk anything, but I don't have any feelings towards it. I'm just waking up.
Yeah, mate. I feel like, it's like my body wakes up and starts doing stuff before other things start to get
like, there's no emotion in it, but it might have come across as like I'm angry already or like pissed.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, like I feel like that's a dude's thing.
No, I definitely.
It just takes us like a couple of hours to wake up sometimes, but sometimes we wake up and we're fine.
I guarantee you that never changes.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, and also, how long have we existed knowing how different we are as genders, and we haven't worked it out?
Oh, yeah.
Is that not something that that's really only just crossing my mind? I'm thinking about it now. Like, how have we not worked it out?
Well, it's because we haven't been trying to work out equality the whole time.
True, yeah. Men have been like men have been like fucking, what's it called?
Misogynistic.
Yeah, misogynistic this whole time up until, I mean, it's still a pretty misogynistic world and we're trying to get there, so that's probably why.
Equality is getting better, but up until like, maybe the 80s is when it's the shift. I actually don't know when the shift
Dude, I don't know. I feel like it maybe started shifting in 2020.
Yeah, that might have been too early.
Fucking hell.
But do you know who does have good spatial awareness?
Who?
Our baddies.
Our baddies.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks,
segue.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. You know what to do. There's more episodes on Patreon for $5 a month. It's cheap as chips. You know what to do.
An extra episode every week. And there's an extra episode.
There's more content, vlogs, dilemmas episodes. We're starting a community over there. So
we actually recently got first person to ever call in on a Patreon episode coming out this Thursday.
That was actually a juicy episode. And it's off the Patreon trailer episode we did. That was her.
Oh, shit. So if you listen to... we accidentally teed that up then. That's sick. Okay, so...
A 32-year-old
and
a 21-year-old got together and we find out what happened after.
Yeah, shit. It's good. It's good.
It's good. But otherwise, want to jump into it?
Let's do it. Okay, so while I was away, Beth got me a present. And it's I don't know if I've probably shown you. I got a real Stanley Cup, like the Stanley brand.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Hey, what can I say?
Must be nice.
I say? No leakage, mate.
Yeah,
no leakage.
Nice.
It's a little hevier. Keeps the drinks colder for longer. I got to say, money well spent. But we were in the car actually coming here, and I was, because the straw comes out and you can like flip the top and make it so you can drink out of it, like just sip it instead of out of a straw, like a mug. So I was like, oh, so you can have hot drinks out of it. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I mean, well, it's not that you can't have hot drinks out of the other ones that don't do that. But I was like, it should be illegal to drink a hot drink out of a straw.
Yeah. Oh, out of a straw, yeah.
Yeah.
It's something I'll do.
And so then her and I started talking about it, and I was like, shit, what else feels illegal? So then I was like, fuck it, let's start writing some of these down. And so, yeah, like things that feel illegal but aren't, and is drinking a hot drink out of a straw. Yeah, dude,
you don't even do that as a kid.
No, I think thinking about it's crazy. You always sip like a hot coffee out of the cup with a little sippy hole
or a mug.
But true, yeah, a mug.
Yeah,
you never have it out of a fucking sippy cup.
Yeah,
it's weird. And you never drink. I feel like you never drink a hot drink out of like a bottleneck.
No, not even out of a glass.
Yeah. Oh yeah, drinking out of a glass. If it has a handle, maybe.
Yeah, but you can't drink out of a normal glass.
Yeah, so
like
we're doing
water.
Things that feel illegal but aren't.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go. Complaining to a boomer about the cost of living and not being able to buy a house. Because the first thing they're going to say is, you don't know hard work if it comes up to your door and fucking knocks it down.
Have you been seeing those things on TikTok? And it's like, they interview, like, what's the best piece of advice you had to buy a house? And they're like, start saving, man. And like, how much did you have to buy your first house? And it was like, cost me $150,000. I saved 20 grand. For
I was making 50 grand a year. Yeah. Cost me 150 grand. So it was only 3 times your salary, eh? Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes fucking sense.
I'll go spend $1 million on some bang average house in the most average suburb.
It's fucking ridiculous, man.
Oh, yeah, that's relatable. That is.
Oh, okay. Things that feel illegal but aren't. Putting a recyclable object in the rubbish.
Oh yeah, that's good, man. That's a good little tip too. You feel guilty.
Yeah, you do. But sometimes, are you ever walking and you have an empty bottle and you're like, I need to get rid of this bottle. The only thing is the rubbish bin. You put it in
you
there.
You gotta do it.
Yeah, I do it. I mean, I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, I'm guilty. At home too, though, like sometimes I won't wash something completely and I'm like, oh, I might as well just put it in the red bin.
Oh, dude.
And then I taught you how to recycle.
I didn't even know you had to wash the yogurt out of a fucking plastic yogurt container to recycle it.
Yeah, like what do you think happened to it?
Oh, I reckon so many people don't know that.
Yeah, right.
I honestly think so many people don't know that. Things that feel illegal but aren't. Putting anything in someone else's bin, especially your dog's poop.
Oh,
when you're going for a walk.
That does feel, you're like checking shoulder to shoulder and you're just like, oh, no, I'm good. Walk.
You actually do. I feel like.
I used to check like if it was like, is the bin still coming? Like the bin man still got to come so his rubbish will get cleared. I'm not like filling up his bin with my rubbish.
And then you know what's funny is whenever I if the bin's been taken, if the rubbish bin got taken by the truck, and I sometimes will open the bin just to make sure because it's sometimes not always full, so the bin's closed, and it's a bin taken, but then someone's put dog shit in there, and I'm like, oh, that fucker. I get mad, and I'm like, if I caught them, if I fucking caught them doing that.
I do that too. Any sort of rubbish, after you check it to see if if the rubbish has been gone, you're like, oh, who did this? This is my bin.
How could they? How fucking could they? But then if I have a bin, if my bin's too full, I'll literally go find a bin and just put my full bag of rubbish in someone else's bin. I'm like, it's getting picked up tomorrow.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. Things that feel illegal but aren't. Doing anything when a police officer is around.
Oh yeah, I'm always, my thing is act cool when you're driving.
Yeah,
cool.
what is
Act
it?
cool.
I feel like I look more suspect when a police officer's around than when one isn't around.
Tell you what the best feeling is? Have you ever been on your phone while driving and then PSA?
Don't.
Simulation driving.
Yeah. Playing video games.
Playing video games, and then you put your phone down, and then a police officer drives past.
Yes,
yeah,
you're just like,
yeah, you're like, yes.
Sometimes that's when I believe in God. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, I got away with that one.
Thank you.
Touch wood. I don't want to. I've got a good system
Yeah,
going.
no, touch wood.
I've got a good system going at the moment.
Fucking hell. Things that feel illegal but aren't. Taking a photo when a random is in the background.
Oh, it's so weird. Well, we vlog, and
Yes.
it's just like you sort of get this. We have good spatial awareness.
Yes,
and
we do.
We're like, there's people. Oh, well, wait.
I didn't the other day
When we were
when we were at golf,
Yeah.
mini golf. I was standing on someone's hole filming you, and Cassie was like, "Jake, move!" And I was like, "Oh shit, I'm so sorry," because I didn't say anything.
yeah, no, it does feel illegal.
Oh,
Yeah, and one day you're gonna get like a Karen who's gonna be like, I don't want to be in your photo. You're like, I'm not taking a photo of you.
true. You always see those videos on TikTok of like a Karen coming up and being like, "I'm not in that video, am I?"
Yeah.
And the person's like, "No," and they're like, "Delete it, delete it now." Blah blah blah, delete it. And have you seen Dave Portnoy? He does the pizza tasting.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of him getting in like yelling fights
That's in,
with
like, New
owners of pizza shops.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then he goes, "You know what? 0." And then that business will literally go out of business because of Dave Portnoy.
I feel like the good thing about Australia is we're so lax and relaxed that majority of the time no one's gonna care. But
Good point.
America, especially New York, they're like more entitled a little bit.
I feel like it must be. I wonder what it is like.
Australia's
over
just
there.
relaxed.
Canada's like Australia. They're pretty, I would say. One thing I noticed is we went to a grocery shop. I was with my mum, and the lady serving us at the counter got a phone call, and she said, "I'm so sorry, I have to take this." And my mum didn't reply. And in my head, I was like, just tell her it's okay.
Yeah.
She said, she was like, "I'm so sorry, I have to take this." And then she hung up, and she went on to be like, I'm not even kidding. She was like, "I'm so sorry. Like, just there was a guy, he's waiting for a curbside pickup, and I had to steer him in the right direction." And my mum still didn't reply. And I was like, this is so awkward. This poor girl's like apologizing.
Yeah.
She feels so bad. And then we got out there and I was like, "Mum, you could have at least said it's okay."
Yeah.
And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "What do you mean? You were fucking so rude just then."
She's just like, give me my fucking food.
Gen X, mate.
Yeah.
That's no spatial awareness.
Maybe that's what it is.
She just didn't even realize she was fucking
So you should be
talking to her.
serving me. I'm the one in front of you right now.
Literally.
Where are they?
Oh, okay. Things that feel illegal but aren't. Leaving clothes in a change room at the shops.
What do you mean?
I mean,
Oh, when you like a general pants cut vibe.
You try pair of pants on, you're like, "I don't like these. Leave them in the change room."
Nah, dude, that's my. I feel fine doing that.
Beth wrote this down.
Oh,
and I was
right.
like, I'll say it, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, I do that. Isn't that where you meant to leave them? Because I've like wrinkled them and shit.
Well, that's what I thought. Like, I worked at a retail store, and I never cared when someone did it.
Yeah, no, I thought like I tried it on and then like I've fucked up. I don't know how to hang up pants, especially. That's like a system unknown to me.
Folding anything properly, I
Yeah.
find. Like, packing my bag to go to Canada, I was trying to think of ways to like, how do I fold this button-up shirt that I'm going to wear to my brother's graduation without fucking it up, but without needing to iron it.
When you applied, you used to work at General Pants, didn't you? No,
Universal.
Universal. At the job interview, did they have like heaps of clothes and you had like a folding test?
No.
Really?
No. What'd they do?
So they go into a blind thinking you know how to fold.
They do.
What a-
I had to be taught how to. I remember being taught how to fold, and I forgot.
Rookie mistake.
But I remember going to the Universal. It's a group interview. I remember going, and
I would hate that.
It was a weird,
That gives me the ick.
It was, dude. It was the biggest ick.
Yeah.
And I think I must have went in there, and I was like, I'm just gonna fucking not care what anyone thinks. And then, I mean, I got it.
Yeah.
All right. This one, I actually things that feel illegal but aren't. Deciding you don't want something in the grocery store and just leaving it in a random spot.
That does feel illegal. That is so illegal. Especially when it's a cold item. That's so illegal.
You don't do it with a cold item. Yes, I feel like you do now.
I gotta go. I see them. I've seen a pack of frozen chips in like the snack aisle, and I'm like, who did this?
This is bad. That's going to waste. They may as well give them to you for free now.
Yeah.
And I know what I always do when I'm with someone in the store. It's quite often Beth, obviously, and it never fails to get a little chuckle. Is when you go somewhere and you're in like maybe a healthy part, and you see someone's put a bag of lollies for a protein bar, and I'm like, someone made a choice here. Always gets a laugh. Always gets a laugh.
I sometimes feel so guilty that like if I see the product after I've already put one in my basket, I can't be bothered to go back. I'll just get both.
Yeah, true, same. It's like I'll eat it.
He'll get eaten eventually.
That's all mine.
I had one that I wanted to go off that I think tops all of yours.
Really?
100%. This is feels like the most illegal thing in the world, but isn't.
Okay.
So I was at the gym the other day, and you know me, like to keep hydrated at the gym. So mid-gym workout, like to take a piss. And in the piss is a sauna. Normally there's someone in there, don't think anything of it, right? Yeah. Go in there, and I just see a glimpse of this guy sitting in the sauna, fully clothed. Shoes, socks, pants, t-shirt. And I just walked out and I was like, that is so fucking illegal. They should put a sign on there, eh?
Shut up.
Yeah, and I was like, what the hell?
Did you get a photo?
No, obviously not.
That would have ruined my workout.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, I just walked out, literally thought, Jake came up with this idea, but I full had this one. I was like, that's so illegal, eh?
That's crazy.
They should put a sign on here, eh? Oh.
That would have ruined my workout, and I also wouldn't have slept that night.
Yeah, I was like, what the? And you know what? It was a boomer.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow, I bet it was.
Yeah.
Fully clothed?
I was like, maybe it's the first time using a sauna, but like, surely you know. Like you start sweating and like your shoes are just going to be dripping. Oh.
I can't imagine anything more uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable in a sauna wearing just boardies or just undies.
Yeah, I know. It's wild.
That's fucked, man. That's another thing that boomers do.
I know.
Saunas didn't exist, obviously, back then. Like, seriously.
We're just roasting boomers today. Sorry, guys.
Fuck boomers, bro. I mean, my grandparents are boomers, but fuck boomers.
What are we? Gen Z.
We're Gen Z.
Gen Z.
We're like, I hope. Joanna's Gen Z. She's like as early Gen Z as you can get. And then my younger brother, he's 14. I think he's about as late Gen Z.
Are they still Gen Z?
Yeah. And
are they with us?
They're with us,
We're
bro.
doomed.
We are doomed. I'm telling you, we're doomed. And then, but the one after that, I have a feeling it's called like Gen Alpha.
Nah, that's just beta. If you ask
Call
me.
it like Gen A.2.
Let's just call it nothing. Like,
And also,
what's with these gens?
there's boomers and then Gen X, then millennial, then Gen Z. Like what?
Yeah, I'm confused.
Where's the theme going?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand.
And then now Alpha.
And Gen Alpha.
Alpha Beta. Is the next one going to be beta?
I bet you it's beta.
Yeah.
I'm not even. It probably is.
Wild.
Fucking ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to switch this up. I'm going to go like left turn from the theme of the current episode.
Okay.
And the other day, so I wanted to bring this up. So the other day I was driving. I was in the car with Beth, and I randomly, I don't know why, I can't even believe it. I asked her. I just said to her, I was like, "Do I ever seem sad to you?" And she was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" I was like, "Do I ever just seem sad?" And she said, "No, not really." And then I said, "Oh, because I feel like I don't really get sad. Like I do." And she said a situation. She was like, situation. And she's like, "Were you sad then?" And I was like, "It was obviously a sad situation." I was like, "Oh yeah, I was then." And she was like, "Yeah, well, it makes sense. Like people just react differently to certain things." And so then I think the other day, you know, champagne problem, you and I were just like talking about stuff with the potty, blah, blah, blah. And we like kind of stress ourselves out a bit. And I kind of feel like, because Beth was saying like some people get anxious and they cry and they get sad. That's how they deal with it. And she's like, when you get anxious, you turn to like, oh, let's fix it because I'm sick of feeling anxious.
Logic.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's fair enough. Like she goes like, you get frustrated. She said she notices it. When I'm anxious, I get frustrated or nervous or something like that. So I was thinking, I honestly think I wish I could just cry.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
I understand that.
I wish I could just I don't want to, I'm not trying to be mean to anyone, no girls or emotional people or anything like that. And I'm not trying to say I don't get sad, but sometimes I wish when I'm feeling a little worked up, I could just walk away, cry, and then kind of come back, because there is times where I've had times where I am so worked up that I cry, and it helps. So I can't, but I physically
You're saying
can't.
you don't like your body's coping mechanism to being sad.
No, I feel like I'm not a fan of how I cope to being anxious and how I cope to being, like nervous.
I think that's a very male thing. I also don't know if you most of the time cry and then you immediately feel better after.
Yeah, but for some reason to me, it's like a quick, you feel kind of relieved for a second.
Well, it's being in touch with your emotions. And
I feel like I don't let emotions out.
Because my girlfriend, she's very in touch with emotions and little things, not little, I don't want to say little or not make them seem like they're not important to her, but she'll just cry out of, if a friend does something to her.
Well, things that are little to you and I.
Yes.
Yeah. Are a thing that would make her cry. Same as my sister or same as my girlfriend. Things that are little to you and I, we think, oh, that wouldn't, why are you?
Yes. But it works.
I wish I could.
Yeah, no, I envy it because I'm it's quite beautiful how in touch she is with her emotions and how she can articulate what's going on in her body and it makes her feel this way. She cries and she's like, that made me really sad. She cries. And when we say, oh, that made me really sad, we're frustrated or I don't even know how to deal with it.
Nah,
I feel like something's wrong with me.
Yeah, when I left Canada, I was giving my mum a hug and she started crying. And I was like, oh, I kind of wish I could cry now. Because her crying I didn't want her to cry.
How do you get in touch with emotions? Is it...
Dude, I don't
why
know.
are girls better at it? Is it a biological thing or is it just
It has to be hormones.
But is it? Or is it because they're brought up in the environment where their parents say, or their mum especially says, it's okay to let it out and cry. Whereas when we cry, we always come on, you don't need to cry. Come on, this wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Societal norms from being when we were brought up would definitely, I guess, steer you in the direction we end up in. Because I guess because it's every guy is pretty much the same as us. Some guys,
and I think we're a bit better than majority of males as well. We're able to articulate how we feel at least. A lot of men can't even tell you that they're sad.
I think you're right. I think we are better than some, but I still struggle to articulate how I feel. Mainly because I feel like sometimes if I'm feeling big emotions, sadness, frustration, blah, 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 the thing that I'm thinking in my head that I want to say is not the right thing to say because I'm not thinking straight. Because I feel like I'm not thinking straight when I'm sad or anxious or something like that. So if someone asks me what's wrong and someone is annoying me, I don't want to be like, oh, you're annoying me, because what if they actually aren't and I'm just not thinking straight?
Well, I have to tell you that's one thing that's kind of works for me, and I think it works for a lot of people, is when you articulate with your mouth, when you're in these states of frustration or sad, it's really hard to get out what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And because emotion takes over and you say something you don't really mean.
Yeah.
But the easiest way to actually do it is write it down.
Oh,
how you're feeling. Because the time it takes you to write it out, it actually gives you time to think about it and you don't just spit something out. Because I'm 100% guilty when I'm sad or frustrated or angry. I'll say something not in the way my brain was thinking it. And sometimes I can't even put to words how my brain's thinking things. My brain's thinking so quickly and then my mouth can't keep up. So if I write it down and think about it, it's so much better.
I find I need to try that, because I find in the past having a little love tiff with a girlfriend or something like that, I try really, with Beth, I've been really trying to, I don't use the words you, well, you did this, blah, blah, blah. But I do find that I bite my tongue a lot, because in the past, when I have big emotions, I'll say something and it's not what I meant, but now I've said it.
Yeah.
So it seems like I meant that.
Yeah.
And so then I'm kind of fuck, where do I go from here? Now I have to apologize because I did say something really mean, but I really didn't mean it. And I can't just be like, oh, well, I can tell her I didn't mean that. It came out wrong, but fuck, I said it. And fucking weird.
Oh, it's wild trying to figure out, I don't know, why your body doesn't process things. And then when it does, you just spit something out and it hurts the other person.
Yeah. My mum, so my stepdad, he's 62. He's a bit of an old fella. And then my mum's dad, he's in his 80s. But she was saying that they are emotional now. So maybe, and she thinks it might have come with age, because obviously they have probably fuck all testosterone now. So I was wondering if guys just have to wait for age, because I think guys produce estrogen obviously, but not much. But then we kind of lose a lot of testosterone, but maybe keep the estrogen or something. So that could be something to do with being in touch with emotions and shit.
Our testosterone takes over a little bit.
I haven't noticed my dad here, my biological dad, he's 50 something. I can't say I've seen him emotional at all though. In the latest.
There probably actually is theory behind that, because my dad has cancer and he had to do chemotherapy, and it fucks all up your testosterone and everything like that.
Yeah.
And although it's a very traumatic time and you could really understand if he was crying, I think he's also been a lot more emotional.
Has he?
Just because of what's going on, obviously, but I think just he's not got his manly self in his back pocket like he usually would.
Yeah, well, he probably, maybe.
Like, it's hard to say because what's going on is so traumatic, but it's also like I can see a slight demeanor change in him, that he's more in touch with his emotions, because I think his testosterone's been stripped away from him a little bit.
Probably, man. Yeah. Is he more heartfelt?
Yeah, I think so. You
Just
can
more-
see he's like things like a little bit more meaningful to him.
Yeah.
Like it's just like he takes his time a little bit more and like tries to appreciate little things a little bit more.
How is he?
Oh, he's good now. He's in remission.
Yeah.
So like he's
That's
on the
sick.
way up and like that. But it's, I don't know, cancer's cancer. It always eventually comes back.
Cancer's fucked. I mean, everyone probably has it in their body and just like it doesn't come out, eh?
Yeah.
Unluckily, sorry for your dad. It just did. But yeah.
That was, I think that's relatable, especially for, I wish we had some male listeners. I made that video the other day, yesterday, about it.
But oh yeah, I want to say something about that. Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt you, but even that, like, I feel like I kind of wish I could cry from happiness for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can't. Like, I watched it and I showed Beth and I was like, "This is so nice. Like, this is awesome." And she was like, "Oh, that's so." And then she watched it and she was like, "That's actually my favorite one." And I was like, "Yeah, it's good." And then, but all I can say is like, appreciate it. Like, I love you too. And it's
You said I love you over
Yeah,
text.
I
like
did. But like, and like, I think even that's a step in the right direction, being able to say it. But I think, I don't know, being able to get emotional about it, I feel like I'd just be like,
context. I made a video for Jake and I's 2 years journey just came up about. But you know, I wouldn't be able to say any of those things, or not like to the extent that I did if I was facing.
nah.
Like right now, if I could say that and articulate it the way I did, because I had time to sit down, I typed that out, and then I said it.
But also, you wouldn't even, let's say you wanted to say that to me.
Yeah.
You wouldn't, and I'm not saying that you're not heartfelt because of it, but I'm like, I know I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, neither one of us would ever write something like that down and then just come read it to our face.
No,
like,
no.
if for some reason, to me, it means just as much for you to post it than it would for you to come say it to my face. If you said it to my face, I'd probably struggle to like hold a straight face. To be fair, like,
Well, the good thing about this potty in a way has made me think about thoughts and ideas and emotions in a whole different way, because you have to write it down. I never did that prior to the podcast.
No.
And it's like sort of become a healthy little outlet and given me a voice beyond words, I guess. No, a voice beyond my own voice in words. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is funny. I think that's a useful tip, especially for men. But yeah, and like I was saying, I don't know. I wish that off that video though, a lot of we got a few comments saying like a lot of girls were going through tough times with boys in their life, and you made me realize like there's nice guys out there who can talk about their feelings and stuff like that. But I also wish like there was more men in here who knew it was normal for us to have these thoughts. Because
Facts.
the thing about us is we're in a healthy relationship where if you come to me and say like you don't know how to cry and feel sad, like I'm here to like be like, oh yeah, how do we get through this? I'm supportive in a way. Like we talk about it normally. Whereas a lot of male friend groups, like some guys wouldn't thinking that it'll be a nightmare to go to some of their friends and be like, I don't know.
Well, no, they wouldn't even think to bring it up.
Yeah,
I mean,
be
we
like,
have friends that I would never bring anything up with them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like being in that supportive network. So I was thinking in the back of my head, I did wish a few more guys, like we should think of a way to target the male audience a little bit more, because I think it would be beneficial for them to know that it's okay to be sad and talk about your feelings. And like even you then, you wouldn't have known where that conversation was going. You would have just like to say
I
that.
just wanted to bring up, I was like, I just wish I could cry.
Yeah, exactly. But I also wanted to know, like, we're in a very weird stage of the potty because we wanted it to be a very good listen, and you probably noticed the 30-minute shift. And it's sort of like, do you like the more talkative base like this where we don't really know, we're going on a little bit of a tangent, left, right, who knows where we're going to turn? Or do you like the more structured, like you know what you're going to get?
Yeah.
Like send us a message. We really we like doing what you guys
we
want
want
to
to
hear.
be a podcast for the people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
We want everyone to enjoy it.
this one was a bit more conversationalist, and we like doing both.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess the beauty of 2 episodes is
One can be
one can be one can be the other.
Yeah, exactly.
And tell you what, if you like the other, go on Patreon.
Yeah. Well, this one you mean?
Yeah, if you like this one, go
God,
Patreon.
Patreon's like this on steroids.
Yeah. And Jack's there. Uncle Jack.
Yeah, Uncle Jack.
He was on camera for the first time.
Yeah, I got to edit that. See if he looks all right.
Fuck yeah.
I want to go first, then you do your best one, Jake.
Okay. What are you doing? I swear if you fake cry, I'm not going to do it.
That's the opposite of what I was going to do.
Okay. You got to give it that. Spit on that thing.
Spit on that thing. I forgot the rest of it. Thanks everybody for tuning in once again. We love you all.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.